was about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
How fitting. The Edmonton Oilers are coachless. But the Oilers fans want it all. How long will the Oilers remain coachless? What did Stan Bowman have to say about relieving Kris Knoblauch of his head coaching duties? Don't fret, pet. Joaquin and I are going to get to it.
Oh, yeah.
And Benny's here. Benny's going to jump in.
Benny's fired
I
up.
thought it was an appropriate song. I saw that. I was like, you know what? This should be good.
Young man, I thought you used a very good judgment
Thank you.
on the song choice for today. Welcome to EST Afternoons. I'm Jay Milne, filling in for the one and only, the mysterious, the magical Hernan Salas, who is still away in Mexico. And I'm joined by my good buddy Joaquin Gage. Benny Thompson is behind the camera, pushing the ones and twos, as they say in this business. Thank you for tuning in. Lots to get to. Obviously, we're going to keep talking about what happened this morning. Stan Bowman had a Zoom media scrum, I guess you could say. We've got clips from that we're going to get to. And we really want to hear from you because this is strange times. I feel like today was the end of an era, if you want to call it an era, but I feel like the end was almost a relief to some Oilers fans because of all the uncertainty that's happened around this team in the past, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
With what we've heard and the Bruce Cassidy and is Knoblauch the coach, is he not? Well, now we know officially. The Edmonton Oilers have relieved Kris Knoblauch of his coaching duties. So we're going to get into that. We're going to discuss it all. A reminder that if you are watching us on YouTube, we appreciate that. Feel free to jump in. Let us know your thoughts in the nasty chat. While you're at it, go over there and click that thumbs up. We like to spread the good word of Edmonton Sports Talk, so please help us do so. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. I like the subscription feature because then when I pull it up on my YouTube, on my TV,
It pops up.
it's right there.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to try
No.
search or type with things with their remote.
Those remotes are terrible.
It's for the birds,
Yeah,
Gage.
yeah.
Nobody likes that, so
Even-
subscribe.
Even like I use a Apple TV to do it.
Yes.
On my Apple phone, I have the remote function.
But then
I
you got to
still,
you're handling
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
You don't want to be handling too many things.
No.
So if you're on YouTube, please hammer that thumbs up. We appreciate it. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn Radio app, as well as EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And you can text us at our EST Afternoons inbox. That is brought to you by River Cree, where happy hour celebrates with $5.25 drinks, available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Kitchen Restaurant, also Sundays and Mondays, has 50% off the entire menu. That's Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. to close. Gager, I love the Kitchen Restaurant at the River Cree Resort and Casino. I really do. But I got to be honest. What you presented me today before this show, I would put that up. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not trying to make you feel good about. I'm coming from the heart. I would put that taco you gave me up against any taco I've ever had.
Thanks, man.
And I am a bit of a taco connoisseur.
Yeah.
Tell the people what you did.
Well, I knew we were working together, and so I thought I would start out with a good. No one likes to come into the show hangry, right?
You're darn right.
It's a very emotional day around here. Even if you're not an Oilers fan, it's like the Ooze and Ghostbusters 2. It's like driving everyone crazy, right? So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. just to recreate those Biera tacos
From the taco shop
from the taco
in West
shop,
Edmonton Mall.
yeah, that we had, because they're so good.
Legendary.
Yeah, they're so. But what's the biggest problem with those tacos?
Messy.
Small.
Small. Oh, you already you got it right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
true. You want more.
Yeah, you do want a little bit. I mean, it was the smaller flour tortilla that I used, right? But no, man, those are just the whole process. It's a lot. Like,
But I was tasting cumin. I was tasting cinnamon, cilantro, white like my mouth was exploding.
there was a lot of different things.
A lot
that
of love.
went- yeah, like the peppers themselves. Like I told you, I thought I used a habanero and a jalapeno and a serrano chili to toast at first, and I threw it in there and I tasted it, and it blew the back of your head off. But then
Somehow it simmered down because it was
simmered
not
down,
spicy.
but I put some more lime juice in there. I slow cooked it with a cinnamon stick for a few hours just to, because you could kind of taste that sweetness with the cinnamon a little bit on the meat too. But it was and then just you're supposed to use a Mexican cheese, but I just used the mozzarella, little cheddar.
It was great.
I love cilantro.
Me too.
I think white onion's not appreciated enough. Like you can just
Raw. Yes.
white onion.
Yes.
As just gives you that little extra crunch.
It
in
has
there.
it. Whatever it is, it has it.
And so yeah, it's you don't need anything else with it too, right?
Well, Joaquin,
I put a little bit of the sauce down there.
to you, I say thank you.
No,
You fed me very well. Okay, hit us up 780-218-9999. Liquid Beaver has already chimed in. How you doing, Sheldon? He says, "Did you say coachless or hopeless?" Well, and Haji says that's the Oilers theme song. The "We Want It All" or "I Want It All" Oilers theme song since the summer of 2006. Okay, Gage. Kris Knoblauch was hired by the Edmonton Oilers November 13th of 23. He was then recently extended, about 7 months ago, for 3 years by the same man that today appeared in front of Edmonton media members to announce that he's fired the coach that he extended 7 months ago. I have my thoughts on that. What did Knoblauch was 135, 77, and 21. That's a .626 save percentage. Now, this year did drop off. Okay, I think even the most prudent Kris Knoblauch lover would say that this year was a drop off. Now, was that a Kris Knoblauch problem? Was that a roster construction problem? Was that just the players that were on the ice? We have comments from Stan Bowman on all of that because he was asked that point blank today. So we'll get to that. But before we do, Gage, just what are your thoughts, your immediate thoughts on the firing of Kris Knoblauch?
Well, because there was a lot of hockey that we watched all season long, right? We were really entrenched in the Oilers from the beginning of the season, and even at times I thought, well, okay, I get it. You can see like little ripples under the water of a team that got to the finals,
They're
at
back.
times. But not enough.
Right.
Obviously not enough.
Not sustained.
No, that sustainable kind of nastiness that you don't want to play against the team, And obviously, when you look back, it's you look at this Oilers team, and they didn't putting in the works the wrong term, but preparing yourself to have success at the most important time of the year. It almost seemed like, oh gosh, we got to go through that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another game.
And the players alluded to it as well. We have to take part in the process of becoming a better team. And part of what Leon said, we're not a good team right now. And I don't think it's all personnel that he's mentioning here. I think it's getting to that. Part of it, the portion is personnel, because he did mention names. But the other portion is we didn't get to that mind frame, that mindset of what it takes to have a successful team. Now, you've had coaches, Jay, and you've probably had favorite coaches. You probably had guys that you couldn't stand.
Yeah.
I've had.
We've all done that.
Yeah.
Right? We've all been there.
And it's a unique type of relationship, player coach. I have no idea what management to coach is like. I've never seen that. And now that you hear, and we're extrapolating stuff from what is said, unfortunately, you'll never hear Knoblauch's side of things too. That would be really interesting to me to hear what he has to say. But and Dusty said it before, you're going to have a little tete-a-tete with coach and management on decisions of how you're going to implement rosters. But it does sound to me that was a big portion of it, where the management team thought that Kris Knoblauch wasn't using the players that were provided properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that that's more of an excuse.
That's a cop-out. I feel.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And I don't know, and I'm completely speculating, but that's the type of thing I think that a manager, when the owners to what happened here, that's one of the things
it's the employee's fault.
Yeah. Well, he didn't do this. Yeah. Our employee didn't do this properly, so we need to replace him. And that's kind of what that's what happens. And to me, it just didn't seem like that was the actual reason for it. It was a part of it, but I think roster construction and personnel and decisions made by management this year were more of the reasoning why the Oilers didn't have success.
So this is the great debate. Why is Stan Bowman not following Kris Knoblauch out the door? Or why is Stan Bowman not leading the way? Why is Stan Bowman here?
Yeah.
Because although I can't say Kris Knoblauch is not at all partially responsible for this, I do think that, maybe the coaching system that was implemented has I don't know, fallen on deaf ears. This team needs to defend better. They need to play more of a defensively minded game.
Yeah.
And that just simply wasn't there. So that's the guy that will take the fall. But there's been a lot of moves here. Stan Bowman was hired as the GM of this team in July of 2024. And I want to get to some of those because I don't know that this is just, okay, well, I said we'll get to some clips, but I'll give you a little insight into when Stan Bowman said, yeah, we're partially responsible for this too.
Mm-hmm.
So is that going to win over Oilers fans and say, well, at least he said,
took some
accountability.
It doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt, but we are joining you from the William Huff studio here. And on Reed's show, which I normally sit in as Reed's co-host, but we had to do some shuffling today. We usually do an off-topic topic for William Huff. Well, today on EST Afternoons, we're going to do an on-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. All right, the off-topic topic. Hit us up in the Nasty Chat. Hit us up in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox at 780-218-9999. What is the biggest blunder in Stan Bowman's tenure here as the Edmonton Oilers general manager?
Ooh.
Now, this can get personal. Everybody's going to have their different take. Benny, when I asked you this in the bullpen, you said, ding, it came to you right away. Benny, what's been the biggest blunder?
And maybe this is recency bias after what we saw last night. To me, it's the Tristan Jarry trade. I don't understand. Again, the day it happened, I'm like, that's an overpay. You threw in your most consistent defenseman just to make the money work in this contract to get a worse goalie than Stuart Skinner. Yes, the Trent Frederick deal, I didn't like 8 years for a guy. That's supposed to be kind of like a bottom six guy. He could still turn around. I guess Tristan Jarry can too. But in the Jake Wallman signing, I actually didn't mind it day of. Just because I actually really liked him in that playoff run. He stepped up when Matthias Ekholm was hurt for majority of that run there. So I was a fan of that signing. Obviously, it looks really bad now, but it's that Tristan Jarry trade. And I asked, I think it was on Reed's show yesterday, I asked, would Stan Bowman make these moves if McDavid had signed an 8-year deal instead of a 2-year deal. And I have a hard time believing that he would have made a move like that if McDavid was here long term. I think he panicked. I think he thought that they're in a short window, which they are, and he panicked and thought that they needed to fix the goaltending immediately. And so he panicked and went for a guy that could have been free a yeyear ago. But instead, they gave up assets. One guy turning into one of the best defensemen on Colorado. That's going to the conference final. Got them to advance last night. Yeah, it's an embarrassing trade from day one. That doesn't have a whole lot of upside, I think, unless Tristan Jarry turns into an elite starting goaltender.
Now, I will add to that, Ben, although I did have the Jarry trade as one of the top blunders. I think the failed offer sheets was also
That's
a
where
big
I'm
misstep.
Oh, for sure.
The Trent Frederick thing, I mean, it's what, $3.2 million?
3.8, yeah. They'll...
Okay, and hey,
can
guess
live
what?
with that.
There's a lot of upside for Trent Frederick.
Yeah.
Because it
Not-
certainly
you
can't go
lower.
worse.
Yeah.
Jake Wallman, yeah, that's up there as well. But don't forget, at the time of the Jarry trade, Oilers fans were begging for Stuart Skinner to move. I think the addition of Brett Kulak, who at the time was having an off year here in Edmonton.
Yep.
Okay?
He was.
Now, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, everyone saw.
Was.
Yes.
The whole decor was not
Good point.
performing.
Good
right?
point. So now everybody sees what happened last night, shuts down a 2-on-1, goes the other way up the ice, and finishes a beautiful play to win it in overtime and send Colorado to the Western Conference Finals.
Just like Evan Bouchard turned it around after a couple months into the season.
Yeah.
Like, why can't Brett Kulak have done the same thing? Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to turn into Evan Bouchard, but like you can see what Brett Kulak's doing right now. Maybe it was a new team for him to kind of readjust and have a reset. But I mean, that's why I kept pushing back on people that were like, "Oh, they need to trade Stuart Skinner." Right? Like, to me, there wasn't a big enough upgrade for him on the market at that time, and we see it with Tristan Jarry here. If Wallsted's available in Minnesota or Gustafsson, or you know, if there's a star goalie that's a significant upgrade over Stuart Skinner and now Tristan Jarry, totally get it. Go swing for the fences with him. But there wasn't a goalie available that was that much of an upgrade. So why are you packaging this deal for a goalie you weren't sure was going to be better than the goal you had?
Well, you had Stu Skinner, who was a UFA at the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you have term with
You've
Tristan
tied
Jarry.
yourself with Jarry now.
You've really attached yourself to Tristan Jarry. You gave up on Brett Kulak. And I'll say it again, hindsight's 2020. But people may be asking, Jay, you prick. Why are you wanting to rehash all this negativity? The Oilers have moved on from Knoblauch. Time to look forward and be positive. Okay, I understand that. The reason I'm asking this question is this is the GM that is now taking over and controlling. Well, he has for a while, but he has the reins of this organization in one of the most critical junctures, I would say, in Edmonton Oilers history as an organization, with Connor McDavid 2 years away from potentially leaving. And this is the guy that's running this ride. He is the carny that is, you're giving him your money. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Why would, Gage, maybe you can add some insight to this. Would players feel comfortable coming to an organization where there's been so many missteps?
Well,
and even more so, coaches.
Coaches and professional athletes. Coaches, I'd say even more so. There's an arrogance or confidence about them that think they're the difference maker.
They can fix this problem.
Fix this.
I'll go in there and I'll shake things up.
So that I don't think there's any real issue. And there could be rumblings and things and stuff. Well, do you really? It's hard to play. You can't go fill up your gas tank with someone talking about the power play. But whatever. Could be stuff like that. But then on the flip side of that, if you win there, you're immortalized.
Yes.
Right? So
well said.
If you take the good, you got to take the bad too. But Stan Bowman, okay, yeah, we're rehashing all these things because we're kind of looking at the whole resume here, and now, okay, well let's put it. We'll put it behind after today's show. Obviously, we'll still kind of break this down a little bit, but now where is Stan Bowman? if we were going to use an analogy to another sport, like he's bottom of the ninth up against Yamamoto, full count, and runners. I don't know if runners are in scoring position, but yeah, maybe they are.
Runners on second.
Runners on second,
but only one runner on base.
Yeah. And he's down a run.
And down a run, one out.
Yeah.
2 outs.
Or 2 out. You're going 2 outs.
I'd say 2
I
outs.
could buy that.
And this is where he's at.
This is it. Who's up to bat?
Bowman.
It's Bowman.
He's got to do this. It's all on him to do this. He has to hit. Wow, geez. He has to hit a home run.
Yeah.
Because you're out of pitchers.
He's
got to walk this thing off.
Okay. Keep your suggestions coming in for the worst management blunders. Since this new management group has been here since 2024. That is, of course, the on-topic topic for William Huff. We've got lots coming up. In the next segment, we're going to get into the clips from the Bowman Zoom presser today. Reed Wilkins, the one and only Reed Wilkins, is going to join us right here in studio at 1:40. We've got the daily Noticias. Okay, for the Edmonton Elks coming up. Joaquin's Red Light District, a crowd favorite, a personal favorite of Jay Milne. I am excited to be sitting beside you to see this because you might turn red today like your coffee mug. And of course, to screw it, let's do it parlay later. But first, let's get to Benny for an update.
Kris Knoblauch and Mark Stuart's time in Edmonton is over as they've been relieved of their duties earlier this morning. Knoblauch was brought in during the 2023-24 season and coached them to a 135, 77, and 21 record, including 2 Stanley Cup final appearances. The Oilers' coaching search starts now as they have not found their replacement. NHL playoff hockey rolls along tonight with the Canadiens and Sabres going at it at 5. That series is tied at 2. Then at 7:30, the Golden Knights attempt to eliminate the Ducks as Vegas leads that series 3-2. The PGA Championship at Uranaman gets going today. Currently, it's Pottinger tied with Jaeger and Lee at first. Notable names, Justin Thomas, tied at 6th. Currently, it is 3 under in their first round. MLB action also underway as we speak. The Pirates took down the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beat up on the Nationals 15-1. Elsewhere, we got the Mets up 9-4 and the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Brewers up 7-0 in the top of the 4th against the Padres. 6-0 Twins against the Marlins. Mariners up 5-1 on the Astros. Athletics up 1-0 on the Cardinals with a couple games later on today. This sports update is brought to you by Capital Care. Financial supports deeply affects residents at Capital Care. Whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you could donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. More of EST Afternoons on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Brian Rashad. Bruce Cassidy, he's known as a finisher. He might be able to come in here and get it done. It would appear they decided to try and look into it, hoping that if it didn't work out or they didn't want him, they could just retain Kris. But the risk they took there was that it would leak. And it leaked. Now a whole bunch of money needs to be spent, removing him. And a real tough situation occurred where Kris, was treated in a way he certainly didn't deserve.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap, before the noise, before everyone else. This is Edmonton football. The only way to experience it is being there when it happens. Every hit, catch, and touchdown. Season seats, flex packs, groups, single games. There's a way in for everyone. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year. Get your seats now at goelks.com/tickets.
Some of us are walking, others are biking. Together, we are accelerating the pace of MS research breakthroughs. This May, join Sentinel Storage at an MS Walk in your community. Sentinel Storage, proud partner of MS Canada.
Your home for great performances is
The River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out.
Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino.
Excitement.
Bet on it.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and zero reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons. I am filling in for Hernan Salas. My name is Jay Milne, joined by Joaquin Gage and the one and only Benny Thompson, our technical producer, junior technical producer. Extraordinaire. I like that. Good confidence, young man. You know, Joaquin knows this, and I don't even have to ask him. Confidence can get you a long way in life. I mean that. Like, I coach a lot of young kids, and sometimes they'll drop a ball or quarterback will throw an interception in football. I immediately go up to him and say, hey, get over it. Move on. You know what? It's not the last one you're going to throw.
Yeah.
But beat it. Be beyond it. Get beyond it. And Benny, you've got that confidence to you, man. You're going places for sure.
Yeah, I got to knock you down a few pegs.
Joaquin's not doing a good enough job. You know what's coming up on Sunday? It's Pizza Sundays over at the Canadian Brew House. After 4 p.m., grab an 8-inch 2-topping pizza for just $9.99 and wash it down with $6.99 doubles and $1 off Bud Light tankards. That's over at our friends at the Canadian Brew House. The on-topic topic for William Huff, I've brought a version of the off-topic topic to EST Afternoons as the on-topic topic was, what's the Oilers management biggest blunder? Let's just say this has garnered a lot of attention in the old River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Andrew says the only way McDavid is, this is not a blunder. This is a McDavid We'll get to that. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, Liquid Beaver, in order. 1, Jari trade. 2, Frederick signing. Not only that he traded for a player that was hurt, true. And 3, the Jake Wallman contract. Beer leaguer Brad. Biggest blunder is Bowman getting hired from the start. Never should have been hired, period. Terrible GM in Chicago, and that doesn't even take into account his actions or lack of actions with what happened in Chicago. Pizza Boy, offer sheet started the domino effect, but Jari trade was a 0 out of 10 the second it was announced, and it's somehow getting worse and worse every day. Kulak playing nearly half the game yesterday, then winning the game in OT was twisting the knife as well. I have less than zero faith in them. That's true. We were just talking about that in the break. Benny, how many minutes do you say he played?
25 last night. I'll double check it, but just like McCarg's hurt, all that stuff. Who cares? You got Brett Kulak back there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, the play he breaks up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Kaprizov.
Kulak 26-54 last night.
One of the most talented players on the planet. He just takes that 2-on-1, takes the pass, tips it, goes the back the other way, gets in a good spot. Nate just deadly.
Yeah.
But then Kulak just buries it. And he's like, see how it was hilarious because he scores and he's on, like, he doesn't score too much, right? But he's excited, and then you see him start hopping like a little kid. You know? It was perfect. I've always said, I've been on these airwaves since the birth of EST, and I've raved about how I love Brett Kulak and the way he plays. If I had 6 Kulaks in front of me, it'd be nothing but Vesnas and Conn Smythes, right?
Yeah, you've been outspoken about Brett Kulak for a long time. So let's talk about that. Like, is that some sort of, for you, seeing that, are you happy for the guy?
Oh, ecstatic.
Yeah.
You know, that because that's tough, man. Like, because he's from here, and from what I've heard about, like, just a solid dude.
Good guy.
Too. And he was, when the trade happened, he was crushed. You know, he didn't want to leave Edmonton. And you saw that they played Pittsburgh right away. You saw him hugging his old teammates and stuff. And then he gets traded again. I mean, look, you're going to the Colorado Avalanche. It's not that bad, but still, that's a lot of upheaval, you know. And then last night was the well, it's not the cherry on top. I guess that would be the Stanley Cup, but he says, yeah, the first thing he says, it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so I'm glad we don't have to get on a plane to go to Minnesota, and I can be there for. And so this guy just says, you know what, screw this. My daughter's got a birthday tomorrow. I can't be on a plane.
Let me break up this 2-on-1, then go the other way
and go rip it,
and go and go and finish this thing. Just awesome moment. First playoff overtime winner. Not that a lot of guys get tons of those, but no, good for him, man. Clicks for Kulak.
Yeah. 26-54, goal and assist. The second most time on ice out of any Colorado Avalanche defenseman. That is beating Cale Makar, who played 25-50 last night. And if I'm not mistaken, that's second on the entire Avalanche in terms of time on ice. He is. I mean, I can't remember what it was Sam Girard and a second they paid for Kulak, I believe, and. He's like you just outlined. He's breaking up 2-on-1s and then ending it. That's a damn good defenseman. And the Oilers, I don't want to say threw him in the deal, but in a way they kind of threw him in. He's like, the money makes sense, so let's go throw in Brett Kulak and we'll go replace him with Spencer Stastny. And I thought Stastny looked solid this season in the time that he did play, but he's not Brett Kulak, nowhere near.
Jason and Leduc says, man, for a guy who's played as much hockey as Kulak. ... That's
a good point.
Great point, Jason and the Duke. And Cole Harbor Joe also sending some slings and arrows. Cole Harbor Joe says, I always knew Kulak would be the guy to bring the cup back to Edmonton.
Wouldn't that be great?
Zing!
Man.
Mike from Calgary says, not only does Bowman have to hit a home run, it needs to be a grand slam. Today is an embarrassing day to be an Oilers fan.
Don't forget, too, we've rarely touched on this as of late because it happened, but the whole of Frederick trade, he traded for an injured player.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even play.
Damaged goods, bro.
Played one shift, I think, or something in that LA game and then waited till playoffs. And
Mike from Calgary also adds that Cates is oblivious to keep these two guys in power. And that's one thing that through all this is Daryl Cates is the guy pulling the strings ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately.
Who's talking to Daryl Cates?
Yeah, that's what I was about
to say. Who's in his ear?
I think he's got someone in his ear.
Well,
he needs to have a group around him or somebody around him to advise him that knows. Like, Daryl Cates is a super fan. Daryl Cates cheered for the Oilers as a youngster. Hit it rich. He's a smart man.
Mm-hmm.
He made some very smart business moves. Very savvy. He's no dummy. But he must have hockey-minded people around him or advisors saying, hey, Daryl, maybe it's time to move on from these guys. Or maybe, maybe, Daryl, it's time to keep. I just don't know. Nobody really knows because he's somewhat of a mystery.
Yeah, and that's fine.
As are some owners, some owners aren't.
I would, if you're Daryl Cates, right? You grew up in Edmonton. You grew up in the glory years, Gretzky, Kurt, and now you were in a position where all of a sudden you're having all these your old idols over to your place and crushing really expensive tequila. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're friends with you now.
Yeah. And so that's but the separation between your friend and business. And look, when you have guys that, they're littered with rings, of course you're going to listen to them but sometimes they're not the best hockey people also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Daryl has to, and I don't know what it looks like, but it seems he has Jackson and Paul Coffey as his who he talks to, right?
To me, though, well, I'll say this about Cates. I'll give him a ton of props for allowing a coaching change to happen, because this is coming out of his pocket to pay Knoblauch.
Yeah.
Right? Like they just extended him, which is, I believe, a Bowman and Jackson decision, or at least it should have been.
Yeah, it's upwards of $7.5 million or north of
whatever
that.
it is, and he's got paid over a 3-year stretch here. This is coming out of Cates' pocket to change the coach. He wants what's best for this team, so I'll give him that.
There is a coach an owner.
Yeah, that's willing to make moves.
Will do anything to
Yes.
win.
Yes.
Okay, but let's put this in perspective. $7.5 million to Daryl Cates.
Is
literally
our Goodwill
hang on,
Wednesdays.
hang on. What do I have in my pocket?
Yeah.
It's like me giving Ben
Here
this
you go.
$5. Here, Ben.
Thank you.
You know what? That doesn't really affect me that much. Take my $5. He's worth $7.2 billion.
It's true. It is true.
And by the way, I'm not giving you the $5.
Dang it.
That's coffee money.
Yeah.
Okay. This is great. We've created a conversation. Oilers fans are clearly upset. Okay, and that's too bad. That's tough to see from this perspective, from our side of the desk, that Oilers fans are upset. But I will add that Duck Dad makes a great point, that Oilers fans should not be embarrassed about that the Oilers may be getting laughed at from around the league.
You guys don't run the team.
You have nothing to do with it, and that's a great point. You're fans. You want the best for this organization, and TBD, bruh. Stan Bowman could come out looking and smelling like roses next year. I mean, Steve Simmons was on our show yesterday and said, if the Edmonton Oilers get Bruce Cassidy, save your time, go to the jeweler now and get size for your ring. I mean, okay, that's great and all, but as of this morning, Vegas has yet to give permission to Cassidy to speak to Edmonton or LA.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a roadblock here. I don't think this is going to be long-term. I think at some point the league's going to step in and say, hey, come on.
Elliott has come out yesterday, saying Vegas is basically going to have to let Cassidy speak to the Oilers. So it's unless there's some ridiculous reason that hasn't been reported, it sounds like there will be a conversation had between Cassidy and Oilers, and I would fully expect that Cassidy is the head coach here.
It's
I'd be
weird to
shocked
say
if it's not.
that, though, isn't it? I mean, I get it because it's two teams in your division.
Yeah.
Right? But then you're still holding the guy you thought couldn't do the job.
Yes.
Oh, because you realize
Wouldn't you want that to go to?
Wouldn't you want
his?
Well, and then take the $4.5 million off your books.
Yes.
You know,
like if he's such a bad coach, you got to fire him. Why don't you go let another team deal with that issue?
It's a bad look on Vegas. This is beyond gamesmanship. This is now taking a man's right to work away from him. This is a bad look. I would imagine coaches around the NHL are up in arms about moves like this, because this is not in good faith what the Vegas Knights are doing. Now, they could maybe they don't check their voicemail all that often. I mean, there could be just simple, oh, shoot, I accidentally deleted that email.
Maybe
We've all sent an email to trash that we didn't
They might
mean
be on
to.
a roll at the win, right?
Who knows, Gage? They could be up big bucks. Okay. Stan Bowman, GM of the Edmonton Oilers, spoke today. It was a closed Zoom meeting, but our Reed Wilkins, Tom Gazzola, Dustin Nielsen, they were all on the beat. Stan Bowman was asked, first question I might add, and deservingly and rightfully so, why extend a coach for 3 years to turn around 7 months later and fire him?
This is a tough decision, no question. Looking back at the way we ended the previous season, falling just short of the Stanley Cup, and the 2 seasons that Kris had with the team, it was it was a decision we made that we felt that he had earned that contract extension. And then as this season went on, at the end of the year, when I met with the group in the media and my availability, I mentioned that we were going to do a thorough review to try to understand, how we got to this point. We had a disappointing end to our season, losing in the first round. And, when you take the season as a whole, it was a year we never were able to get it going. It wasn't just a slow start or maybe a tough stretch in the middle of the year. Like, those things happen to all teams. You have some ups and downs, but we didn't have a lot of ups this year. We had, we were kind of right around the middle all year long. When we performed our analysis and our review about where we headed as a team, we just felt that we needed a different voice to lead us to where we want to get to. So, difficult decision without a doubt. But it was based upon the way this entire year played out, not just, small sections or just the playoffs. It was really the total year.
Okay. Since the team could not get it going this season, there was not a lot of ups this year, and that they want a different voice leading them forward. Joaquin, what are your thoughts?
You always hear the phrase, who's the easiest person to get rid of when you want things to change is the coach. Okay, so that was accomplished. But voice is, we wanted a different voice is interesting to me. It's a unique way to phrase things, and we wanted a different voice to lead us. So I can only speculate what that means, but it to me now, I'm looking at that as a more of a San Andreas fault or a Marianas Trench between management and coaches of how they saw the team.
Right.
That's interesting because I heard it earlier, and I'm going by what I heard. He thought that the team was able to do something a little bit more with the proper personnel, and it's a little bit alarming to me. I'll say that. Just the phrasing of what he said it was a tough decision, but the fact that we need a different voice to get to where we think we should be, where I'm being a former player, there is a portion that I put on the coach. Don't get me wrong, but it's way more on the personnel and the players to do certain things, and to have that much success 2 years and have a year still where he's saying there's no ups and downs. Is he looking at it as Knoblauch couldn't motivate these guys to get more than 3 wins a few times more this season? They didn't have more than 3 losses either, right? So it's a good point. I look at that statement and I think you're reaching for things.
Okay. Krager would agree with you in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox at 780-218-9999. This is the GM of a professional sports organization. This guy sounds like he truly has no idea what he's talking about. Krager adds he's an idiot when it comes to hockey management. That is the issue. And then we talked about it with our on-topic topic for William Huff, which was the biggest blunders committed thus far by Stan Bowman. He was asked about this today, about the accountability of management, and where does that factor in with what's been going on recently. Here's what Stan Bowman had to say.
Well, I think we were definitely part to blame for where we are today. I don't think that's we're not trying to hide from that. I think when a team doesn't have success, there's usually multiple reasons for that. It's typically not just the coach or just the players or just the management. In my experience of being in hockey for many years, teams that don't have success, there's usually culpability in a lot of different areas. So there's no question that was the case here. We have a team where we had players that didn't perform to the level they should. We had players that I brought in that didn't perform to the level that we expected them to. So that's on myself. And then, so there's blame to be had by all of us, myself included. And part of that review that we did was to examine how do we get to this point. And but in that conversation, there was the discussion of, where are we at now, and do we have the belief that maybe a different voice would be able to tap into the players that we have to a different degree and get us to another level. And that's the decision that we made. So this is not all on Kris Knoblauch and Mark Stuart. That's not the case. But in the assessment, we believe that there can be some better performances from players here, and we need that for our team to be successful.
Okay, there you hear it. I mean, they did say we have our part in this. So I get the sense, though, that that's not good enough for most of the Oilers faithful. Okay, and we want to hear from you guys. Keep your text coming in, 780-218-9999. Keep hitting us up in the nasty chat. If you haven't yet, let's hammer that thumbs up. Let's try we've got a lot of people watching right now. If each of you hit the thumbs up, we'd set a new show record, and having me as the face of it would be fantastic.
I could rub it in Hernan's face.
Hernan would never hear the end of it. So let's set a show record. But first, we got to get out. We got to hear from Benny. Sorry, I'm a little late into this, Benny. And then we're going to have Reed Wilkins join us in studio.
Kris Knoblauch and Mark Stuart's tenure in Edmonton has officially come to an end after both were relieved of their duties earlier this morning. Knoblauch took over during the 2023-24 season and guided the Oilers to a 135-77-21 record, along with back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances. Edmonton's search for new coaching staff is now underway with no replacements announced yet. NHL playoff action continues tonight with 2 games on the schedule. The Canadiens and Sabres meet at 5 p.m. with that series tied 2-2, while the Golden Knights look to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 as Vegas leads that series 3-2. PGA Championship at Uranimink gets going today. Currently, it's a tie between 5 different players sitting at 3 under. Justin Thomas, notable name, at 2 under, tied for 7th as the day rolls along. MLB action also underway today with the Pirates beating the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beating up on the Nationals 15-1. Mets beating the Tigers 9-4. And then for games going on right now, Brewers up 7-0 on the Padres. The Twins up 6-0 on the Marlins. 7-1 Mariners lead over the Astros. Athletics up 1-0 on the Cardinals, with more MLB games going on later today. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood the Duke. Locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors, flooring, and decking to fencing and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood the Duke, the experts you need to know. Reed Wilkins joins the show on the other side of the commercials. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Kobe, though, is a guy that I would take over LeBron.
Are you kidding me?
There it is. I think he's upset. Is that the top 5?
Yeah, I think it's the top 5 comment. Here we go.
Give me Bill Russell's stats. Give me Will Chamberlain's stats. If somebody wants to put Wilt or Bill Russell ahead of LeBron, I'm not going to argue.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Oh, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. Right? That is a question you cannot ask with a straight face today, at least in relation to Oilers fans. A reminder that you can hit us up at the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, where Tap 25 is offering $18.99 prime rib specials. Just that's right, $18.99, available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Available for dine-in and takeout. Not available on show nights. And with that, I am very happy and excited to invite Reed Wilkins to my show today. This is the first time that I've ever had you on my show.
Not Gager's show as well?
What, Reed? See, that's just what, a guy could dream. A guy could dream, and then Reed can come around and squash it like a bug. I'm kidding. Of course, it's Joaquin's show.
That's generally my role, to keep people under control one way or the other.
Reed Wilkins, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. I'm having a great day. I mean, in our business, days like this are days that you live for. Are they not?
Yeah, big days. Yeah, big days. Big news days.
You were sitting in live. You asked questions during the Stan Bowman. What would you call that? A Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom availability.
Zoom availability.
Do you like those? Or do you like to be in person more?
No, in person is a little better.
Yeah.
But I actually thought they weren't going to do anything today. But they probably realized there'd be so many requests to talk to Stan. They just decided to do it. I think that they'll have something in person and roll out to have it with a little more pomp when the new coach is hired, sometime between probably tomorrow and the end of the month, I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to give a rough time. Well, maybe not. I think there'll be a coach in the next 2 weeks, would be what I would think. But yeah, that would be in person with the new coach there. Because then there'll be two people at the podium, right? Bowman and the new coach, whereas today it was just Bowman. So I think that's probably why they did it on, and maybe with the shorter notice. Bowman was in Edmonton, though. I mean, you could see in the background of his Zoom availability, he was in his office along 104th Ave.
Okay.
Reed,
that's a good sign.
Before the break, we played the clip about the accountability of management in this all. Do you think that provides a little bit of a silver lining for Oilers fans that Stan Bowman did take some accountability?
Oh, I don't know. What are fans saying?
Not really. Are they not giving him the benefit of the doubt?
Well,
I mean, did you think Stan Bowman was going to? Let me ask you this then: did you think Stan Bowman was going to stand up there and say, "Yeah, we have blame in this"?
It didn't surprise me that he said that.
Okay.
I think he would be incredibly ignorant and arrogant if he actually said that and believed it. That every move he made worked out well. I mean, the most interesting, well, if he said a few interesting things, I know you're playing some clips, so I'm going to go over a lot. I mean, the one thing he said was that they didn't really establish anything during the year. And he didn't use the word identity, but I kind of thought that's what he was talking about, where he said we had a good power play, but other than that, you know, who were we? What were we good at? So I think that is why, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this. I'm just putting it out there as my interpretation for the time being. I'll talk more about it later from 3 to 6. So that's, to me, that was the crux of why he fired Kris Knoblauch, that he felt the team needed to establish something, have some sort of an identity, and they didn't do that. And then he actually said we couldn't just turn it on for the playoffs. This is also what Leon Draisaitl said. Leon Draisaitl basically said we didn't take the regular season seriously enough, and when we got into tense situations in the playoffs, we didn't have something to fall back on. Like, hey, remember when we played the Rangers and Philly back-to-back and we were exhausted, but we just checked and battened down the hatches and won 2-1 both games? Like, they didn't have things like that to fall back on. That, to me, that's the most interesting thing that he said today. One of the most interesting things.
So given that, do you think that they can run it back with the same group? Like, do they need to make massive roster changes, or can they run it back with the same goaltending tandem? Can they run it back with the same defensive group?
Well, first of all, I don't think they have a third line. I'll start there. I don't think they have a third line. They might have 2 fourth lines. They don't have a third line. I mean, maybe if Dickinson is back as a third line center, that helps. But I don't think they have a really good third line. So no, I don't think they can't run back the same roster. I mean, there's still it's everything. It's management decisions, it's players, it's injuries, and it was coaching. So yes, you're changing the coach. Maybe you're going to get an experienced, successful coach like Cassidy. Great, but how many players underperformed, and how many players it's just that's who they are? You know, and maybe for some of these guys, it's just that they're probably fourth line players. And I think the Oilers have too many of those guys that are forwards like 11 through 14 on a good team, or maybe even 12 through 15 on a good team. They have too many of those guys. So I don't think if you're asking me if they change the coach and everything's fixed, no, I don't believe that. I believe maybe a new coach can help. And I mean, I'll go over the things I criticize Knoblauch for again when I talk this afternoon. So those things can help. Do those things help to make them a top 5 team in the league? I don't think they do. I think they can make them better. Maybe it can make them a team that can win a round. But I don't think just improved coaching with the same group of players propels them to Stanley Cup contender status.
Reed, when Stan Bowman says their thorough review of the season on the to-do list for the summer, where would you have put new coach?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought of it that way.
It's the first thing they've done, but like when I'm cleaning the house or got to go groceries, I have a to-do list, and I probably put the one that I have to do most, I know, at the top, but I might do 4 or 5 first.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would have put it further down. I probably would have put it behind new manager. And then with new manager comes new players.
Well played.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, but okay, like everybody has to understand now that unless something really unpredictable happens, Stan Bowman's going to be the general manager of the team, probably for another year.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So that is just what's going to happen, and I think we started to understand that that's what's going to happen when there were no immediate changes last week, and then we started hearing this stuff come out about Cassidy and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can lament that or be upset about it, but that's the reality here. Bowman's going to pick the new coach, and then the new coach comes in and tries to put his stamp on the team.
Yeah, I wonder. Okay, so yeah, they do their review, and Stan said it. He said that that's not the voice they think they need to have success moving forward. But I mean, I guess there's only so much you can do right now, but I'd love, if I were to rank Stan Bowman's to-do list, and maybe that's a good idea for Benny's blind rankings, is where's goaltending? Where's third line center? Where is right shot? Or is that just under personnel?
Yeah, that's under personnel.
Do you think Connor Murphy could fill that right shot D role? Like, because that's one of the needs. Is he a guy, okay, re-sign him, and there, check.
I think so. But I wonder about what's his cap hit? Like, he's not a young guy anymore. He's probably looking to, at least hit a triple on this thing and sail into the sunset, because unfortunately, you can't play hockey forever.
33, 4.4 mil.
But what are we at? We're at 16, right? So we're kind of, okay, 4 to him. That eats away. I think that's probably the most important thing. Well, no, it's not. It's goaltending. You got to find a platoon type of goaltender, because I don't think it's, unless Trev has some deep dark secrets of some GMs and gets one of his trades done, Jari's going to be here next year.
Right. Well, yeah, it's going to be hard to get rid of Jari. I mean, you could put him in the minors, but you don't save a ton of money.
Is there a possibility that he just bounces back and has a great year?
No, I don't think so. I think it's possible he has a better year. I don't think could have a great year.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's more likely Ingram has a great year if you're asking me to choose between one of the two.
Me too.
Yeah,
he has a great year.
Well, and okay, Steve Simmons was on our show yesterday, Reed, and said, go get your rings fitted if Bruce Cassidy is named the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. By saying that, I'm assuming that Bruce Cassidy would then encourage or administer more of a defensive style of play for the Edmonton Oilers, in which Connor Ingram had looked better, as any goalie does, when the defending is in front is better. Can they run it back with those two goalies, Reed? And let's just say a hypothetical that this Oilers team defends better next year.
Well, look, if you're asking me if I think that that's a good goaltending tandem, the answer is no. If you're asking me if they can change the goaltenders, then I don't know how they do that. So they may wind up having to run it back by default. Now we'll see if Ingram resigns. Maybe if he doesn't or doesn't want to, maybe there are other options they can go out and get. But if they go into the season with Tristan Jarry as the number one goaltender, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Well, that's a disaster already in progress. I mean, if these goalies are back, Ingram has to be the starter. So now we see if Ingram wants to play here, how much money he wants, if other teams are interested. I would think there'd probably be limited interest in Ingram with other teams.
But
probably some, thought, okay, maybe this guy fits in, and if we actually play harder in front of him.
Well, there'd probably have to be some retention from the Oilers' end, right?
Well, Ingram's a free agent.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm saying if they, sorry, Reed. I'm saying if they were wanted to try and move Jarry.
I don't see how Jarry is tradable. I flat out do not see how Jarry is tradable.
What about at 50% retained?
Okay, would you want him?
I'm not saying I would, but I don't think we've seen crazier we've seen trades.
Okay, then he's a throw-in that you have to give up something else,
right? Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I mean, I wouldn't.
It's two rough seasons for a goaltender at his age. Usually, that in those cases, if this was the last year of Jarry's deal, I think it would be very difficult for him to find work next year. Right?
For sure.
That would, look at it that way. If his contract was up this year, do you think any other NHL team would come calling and signing him? Probably. Unfortunately, I'd say no.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's right now. He is the starting goalie for your Edmonton Oilers right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it unfold or lack of unfolding. I guess that would be in a pile of laundry in your laundry room.
Well, I mean, by doing this, Bowman is basically saying I mean, of course, there's going to be player changes, but he thinks a new coach is going to make quite a bit of difference.
Yeah.
And maybe he will. I mean, who knows? Maybe we're assuming it's going to be Cassidy. I mean, maybe there's something there that he unlocks or taps into, or a consistency he's able to coach to get them to play to a level of that Knoblauch wasn't able to this past season.
Finally unlock the Nuge.
Maybe that's there. Well, but that's the whole other thing. Like, and this is my thing about the personnel. The Oilers don't have competitive. Like they did not play with enough drive this season.
No,
quite frankly.
No.
I'm going to say it again. Watch some of these guys play who are not stars. Newhook, Jake Evans, O'Connor on the Avalanche, even Drury on the Avalanche to some extent, though I think he was a higher pick, wasn't he?
Martinook.
But I keep talking about Martinook. Like, where are these? The Oilers don't have that level of players, I think. Like, I guess, sure, we'll see what happens with Doc. We'll see what happens with Szymanski. Yes, we gotta wait and see with some guys. But I'll say this, I'm going to be saying this every day until they're eliminated. Look at the Montreal Canadiens. You cannot tell which is line number 1 and which is line number 4.
Mm-hmm.
They all play the same. They all make big plays. They all check. They all play with commitment. They're all blocking shots. They're all taking a hit to make a play. They're all chipping the puck into the neutral zone. They're all dumping the puck in. So maybe that's what the new coach is going to do. Like, here's the simplest method of hockey. We're going to do this first, then we'll see if we can do other stuff.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I like it, Reed.
All right,
Maybe
Reed,
you're going to be the coach of the Oilers.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Well, I'm not going to be the coach of the Oilers, nor do I think I could be. There are some people in the media who think they could do multiple jobs, off-ice jobs, and maybe play as well. I'm not one of them, but I can tell you what I think the Oilers' deficiencies are.
I told you that in confidence.
Well, you could play in the NHL. You did play in the NHL, and you probably still could, Gager.
I don't think so, but thank you.
Thanks for your time, Reed. Mr. Bookbinder, what's coming up on the Reed Wilkins Show today?
Massive show this afternoon, Jay. It's unfortunate you won't be there, as you are my favorite part of that program, Jason Milne. But we will have some of the key clips from Stan Bowman from his availability this morning. Ben Thompson will, of course, play a role in the program. And your colleagues, Thomas Gazzola and Dustin Nielsen, will join Reed for discussion as this as well. We'll keep you updated on the Professional Golfers Association Championship, the second of 4 majors. All while I bind books by candlelight, even though it's during the day.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bookbinder. Thank you, Reed Wilkins, who's already left. You'll be on from 3 to 6, of course. All right. We've got the final hour of EST Afternoons with myself and Joaquin Gage. But first, we hear from our partners and Ben Thompson.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Every Tuesday during the season, 5 to 5:30, the Mark Killam Show here inside the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. The Elks fumble 5 times in a game. I'm going to ask Mark Killam about ball security and fumbling. So it's not going to be jokey around. We're all buddies. Hey, look, we got the coach. Aren't we cool? Like, I'm not going to gloss over stuff that happened in games if it needs to be talked about. I want to ask the questions that fans want to know.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon, 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. Had a good day? It's time for happy hour. Bad day? Oof, happy hour. Boss said great job? Happy hour. Boss said let's circle back? Ugh, definitely happy hour. Got a promotion? Happy hour. Spilled coffee on your shirt 5 minutes after getting dressed? Ugh, happy hour. So whether you're celebrating or recovering, our happy hour starts at just $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
The Edmonton Oilers have officially moved on from head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart after both were relieved of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch was hired during the 2023-24 season and compiled a 135-77 and 21 record while leading Edmonton to 2 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. The Oilers have not yet named their replacements as their coaching search begins. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with a pair of games on tap. The Canadiens and Sabres battle at 5 p.m. with that series even at 2-2 before the Golden Knights try to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 while holding a 3-2 series lead. The PGA Championship at Euronymake gets going today. Currently, there is a 6-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. Notable name Justin Thomas tied for 8th, sitting at 2 under. As that tournament rolls along today. In the MLB action, we saw the Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2 earlier today. Reds beating the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat Tigers 9-4. And then for games going on as we speak, bottom of 7th inning, Brewers up 7-0 on the Padres. The Twins beat the Marlins. That game just wrapped up. Mariners beating the Astros 7-3. Athletics up 1-0 on the Cardinals. And there's 4 more games in the MLB later on today. Second hour of EST Afternoons coming right up. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons with Jay Milne and Joaquin Gage. Live from the William Huff studio here at Edmonton Sports Talk Global HQ. A reminder, if you are watching and listening to us on YouTube, please go ahead and hammer that thumbs up. We want to try get a show record. We have 252 people watching us live, and we have 77 thumbs. We are 23 thumbs away from 100. That means we're 73 thumbs away from 150, Joaquin. And I'd like to try it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We've got the daily noticias coming up for the Edmonton Elks. We've got the Red Light District shortly thereafter, and then we're going to finish up with the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. But on that note, it is time for the daily noticias for the Edmonton Elks. Is there music for this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is. You want to hear it?
Let's play some salsa. The Daily Noticias is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. It's time to get back to the beginning. May 29th, Elks, Stamps, Clark Stadium for the night at the Knot Hole. Our city, our year. Lock in your seats at goelks.com/tickets. I've been down at training camp this week, and they do have temporary seating. I'm telling you, if you have never been to a game at Clark Stadium, heck, if you've never been to an Elks game, please go to this game. You are arm's length away from the players. You will hear sounds that you've never heard watching football on TV. I personally guarantee it. You'll hear the of somebody getting absolutely run over as they cross the middle looking for a pass.
You know what's really is the speed, though.
Good point.
That's where you don't usually get. Like when I always tell people if they go to a hockey game, oh, where should I sit? I go, well, go sit by the glass once, and that'll give you a good perspective on how fast these guys actually are.
Oh, yeah. The Daily Noticias for the Edmonton Elks. Oilers fire Kris Knoblauch and Mark Stuart. believe the Oilers are looking to Bruce Cassidy to fill that void. However, Vegas has yet to give permission to Cassidy to speak with Edmonton or LA. The NHL playoffs continue with Game 5 in Buffalo as Montreal tries to take that series lead. It is currently tied 2-2. And can Vegas end the season for the Anaheim Ducks? We'll find out tonight. That start time is at 7:30. The PGA Championship is underway just outside of Philadelphia in Aronimink. Aroniminkey-dinky-dink. Aroniminkey-doo. That's a good name, Aronimink. And Benny, you said there's currently a 6-way tie.
I believe
for
it's
first
now
place.
7.
Okay, so you got Aldrich Potgieter, Stefan Jaeger, Minwoo Lee, Ryu Hasachuni, Ashke Bhatia, Martin Keimer, Alex Smalley, all tied at -3. Wow. Should make for an interesting weekend. Okay, that was the Daily Noticias for the Edmonton Elks. Benny, Stan Bowman talked today, and of course the question is now, who's next? Who's going to be the Oilers head coach? Of course, rumors have been swirling that it is likely to be Bruce Cassidy, but who knows? Stan Bowman was asked, what is the timeline on the hiring of the next head coach?
I don't have a timeline on it. I mean, my simple answer would be we're going to go through a process like I just spoke about, but we're not looking to drag this out, but it'll take as long as it takes. And I don't know that yet. We're not going to rush into anything in the next couple of days here, but I think we are going to let that play out. So, we're not going to stretch it out any longer than it needs to be. Whether that's a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know that. We'll get to that when it plays out.
Another question that was brought up to Stan Bowman, and I don't know how you feel about this, Gage. I don't know. We'll play the clip first, but essentially Stan Bowman was asked, are Leon and Connor going to be involved in the hiring process for the new head coach?
Yeah, we certainly will talk to them, but they don't want to be choosing coaches. That's not their role. And they're in a different category than just a regular player. They're elite players that know this team, know their game, and know what. So I think we'll have conversations with them, but they're not choosing coaches. Number one, they don't want to do that. They don't have the depth of knowledge of what how to interact with a coach and a manager. There's a lot of elements to that they're just not privy to, and they don't want the pressure of choosing a coach. So they're not going to be picking the coach, but certainly I think they will have conversations as we go through it, but they're not going to be in on the interviews or anything like that. I think it's more just sort of more general things about their game and about our team in general. And so yes, we'll talk to them, but they're not going to be in the decision making.
We'll talk to them, but they're not going to be involved in the decision making. I believe that they were not involved at all when Kris Knoblauch was hired. What do you? I don't think they need to be involved at all. To be quite honest with you,
good. We're on the same page.
I think it's disgusting. They're hockey players. Do your job on the ice first and foremost, and maybe one day later in life you can do stuff like this. But that's why. Why is it of the thought that the Oilers, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, need to be involved? Is it they got to get their blessing?
That's disturbing to me.
It's embarrassing.
It's really disturbing.
I think so.
That what do you think? No, the only time a player picks a coach, I think, in a scenario is if he's an unrestricted free agent and he's in a bidding war with a few different teams, and if that's one of the factors, he goes, you know what, I like that guy. He's got a proven track record. I think I can flourish under. That's the only time a player chooses a coach. That's it. This sounds like, to just hearing that, my initial response to that is we have to make sure that we get these guys happy so Connor signs again.
Right.
This is all. That's all they're worried about. Is this okay? And that I don't think that's a good place for management to be in.
That shouldn't be an interaction.
He just talked about the relationship that they're not privy to, and what you have to know and have experience with being in management and talking to coach and that type of relationship. That's he mentioned it. I don't think that's good. I don't like hearing that. If I'm a owner, it's not the chain of command where you're asking the generals on, is it okay if this guy leads you? You know, you
general's not asking the foot soldiers what their thoughts is about the plan of storming the beach.
No, you're doing it. That's
Watkins, does this at all say to you, like, well, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl signed off on this hiring too, so it can't just be my fault. Like, it looks like somebody that maybe wants to spread the possibility of blame down the road. I just don't understand that. I'm sorry.
In the first clip, what was the first clip there that he said?
The last clip that we just played?
No, the first one before the coaching.
Why was it after extending him for 3 years, turn around and fire him 7 months later?
No, something else bothered me about it.
Accountability of management?
Maybe it was that. It'll come to me. But I got mad at the asking players on who they would like as a coach, because you're going to have issues right there. What did Reed say? And you could say this about all the best teams. You watch the Carolina Hurricanes, it's the same sort of thing. You cannot distinguish between line 1 and line 4 on their work ethic and their play without the puck. Of course, it's going to be different when Connor has the puck compared to someone else,
sure.
Right? But the play without the puck and the decision-making on the ice in certain situations is quite uniform through the top teams in the league. And that's where you have to get to with the coach. So if the buy-in, we're talking about buy-in here. And, this is what it was. So the extensive search, where I don't have a timeline on it, you can't tell me if Vegas were to give him the green light, you can talk to Cassidy, and they say he hits, they would have hired him right there.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't. Okay, thanks for your time. We're gonna go talk to a bunch of other people. I think I know.
Do you think they're actually going to talk to multiple candidates?
If I didn't know Stan's father, Scotty's real name was Geppetto, because Stan's nose is growing on that one.
Boy. Oh, Joaquin, that's why we love you. Okay, we've got to get out for a quick break. We will be right back after with the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. But Benny, you're up.
The Edmonton Oilers have officially moved on from head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart after both were relieved of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch was hired during the 2023-24 season and compiled a 135-77-21 record while leading Edmonton to 2 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. The Oilers have not yet named replacements as their coaching search begins. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with a pair of games on tap. The Canadiens and Sabres battle at 5 p.m. with that series tied at 2-2 before the Golden Knights try to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 while holding a 3-2 series lead. The PGA Championship at Euronymake gets going today. Currently, there is a 7-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. Notable name Brooks Koepka sits at 1 under as the tournament continues. And in MLB action, we saw the Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. The Reds destroy the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat the Tigers 9-4. And the Twins beat the Marlins 9-1. Games that are still in action. Middle of the 8th inning, Brewers up 7-0 on the Padres. The Mariners up 7-3 on the Astros. And it's a 1-1 tie between the Cardinals and the Athletics in the top of the 6th inning. Phillies and Red Sox, Cubs and Braves, Royals and White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers will play later today. Red Light District on the other side of the break here. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
Goodwill is
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 Welcome back to EST Afternoons with Jay Milne and Joaquin Gage. Benny Thompson sitting behind the camera running the ones and twos. Before we get to Red Light District, I must remind you that portions of this hour are brought to you by Lamley's, built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performance across every job site. Visit www.lamleys.com/work to see how Lamleys can make your workday better.
LAMMLES.
Joaquin.
Okay, so there's kind of a theme of the show today, I would say, right? So for the red light district this week, I have gone through what I think are some of the top qualities needed as a head coach of a professional team.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So, one, I think is very important is the ability to inspire. We all see those movies with the speeches and stuff. You can't do it all the time, but you have to have that in your pocket. Creating belief, molding individuals differently. Not everyone's the same. And make people want to compete for each other. That is what great coaches really do. Another big one, I think, is confidence and decisiveness. Okay, making the difficult decisions under pressure. Down a goal late, you're not, is it time to call the timeout? Reading the play, you have to have that instinctual knowledge of what's best for your team. Avoid panic during adversity, right? Not making those snap decisions. Giving team members the confidence through stability, knowing that you've been there before, right? This is a big one for me. This one, I think, this is probably the biggest one in the next coach of the Edmonton Oilers that he needs to have. That I don't think we've seen on a level throughout that's uniform is accountability, holding everyone to standards fairly. That is the big one. Owning mistakes too, right? Being honest with your feedback when you're talking to your players, and creating a culture where effort matters. That has to be it.
Whew. I like that.
Another one, again, like you're looking at the landscape of the Oilers too. There, you're going to have some younger players, so you do have to have a little bit of the teaching ability, like breaking complex ideas into teachable steps. Right, the NHL level, it's a little bit different. Patience during this development too with certain players you have to have. Reinforcing habits repeatedly and helping people understand why, not just what. The whole why versus what. Mm-hmm. Why we're doing things. Of course, I think this is just a prerequisite for any coach, but preparation and organization. That you coming from a football background, that is
huge.
That's massive. So detailed planning, strong practice structure. Now, this is a tough one, but because of the practice time. But next year, maybe without the Olympics, they'll have a little bit more practice time to implement your systems, things like that. Film preparation, stats, like, everyone says they try to stay in the moment, but I think sometimes taking a step back and looking where you are can help too. Time management, consistency, that are huge for coaches. This is emotional intelligence. So reading personalities and emotions. That's, all the great ones. You always hear how they communicate. Understanding confidence levels and motivations. You need to know where I think Knoblauch was quite good at pressing the right buttons at the right times. Managing conflict effectively. Now, he had some different personalities. I'd look back to the Evander Kane. There were some things on the bench. So those things seem to even out after. You didn't see that constant conflict, at least on the bench. Building relationships and trust. Okay. Now, two more here. One, of course, is the leadership. You have to be the leader. You're the captain of the ship. Setting standards and culture. Leading by example. And of course, I come back to creating accountability without losing the dressing room. That's what you need. And last but not least, I think is these guys are in the NHL for a reason, but communication is one of the big ones for me. Clear, direct messaging, ability to explain everything, knowing when to motivate, knowing when to challenge, and knowing when to listen to some of your players too. A lot of your feedback can come from your players, and just adjusting your communication style with different personalities.
Wow, that is a comprehensive list, young man.
Well, this is a big hire for Stan Bowman. And I think he's got to get a lot of those right, and whoever is the next coach of the Edmonton Oilers.
A big hire, yes, 100%. Because if things don't go right here in Edmonton, Stan Bowman might be the general manager that is responsible for trading away Connor McDavid. Think about that.
Ooh.
Think
you don't
about
want
that.
that on the resume, do you?
We had the on-topic topic for William Huff, which was biggest blunders in Stan Bowman's tenure. Can you imagine adding a trade of Connor McDavid? Now, you'd get a king's ransom and back, maybe. I don't know. But if things don't go right, that's a discussion that's going to have to be made, and it'll come up. Now, Joaquin, how do you inspire players? How do you get... Like, I talked about it yesterday. I went back and I looked at the last... the head coaches of the last 10 Stanley Cup winning teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the Paul Maurices and John Coopers. And, you know, I keep thinking back to that video from last year, that clip of Paul Maurice just like giving it to them on the bench.
And they're up.
Yeah, but you got the sense that that was a bit more of a two-way street. Like, it was more of, it wasn't a scolding.
No.
It was like, you know, you're better than this. What's going on? You know, like, but to me, that relationship and that motivation tactic comes with, like you said, accountability with you and the coach and the players. How do you get that? How do you get to that point?
It's knowing the situations of when to say something and when not to. Sometimes silence is the best thing. Like, you see timeouts and a coach won't say a thing.
Right.
And I think there's something to that at times. I mean, that's probably the perfect example of, and even John Cooper had one Four Nations too. I remember that he says, hey, you got a chance, don't pass it, shoot it in the back of the net. Like, just and that Paul Maurice one was perfect because I think they're up, and it was the example of, you know, you tear something down and build it back up all within a 30-second span. Like you said, you're kind of harsh, you're swearing at everybody, but then you tell them so they don't have anything left come Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just you get everyone riled up again. It's the...
Well, we've discussed today that Kris Knoblauch is probably a bit of the fall guy here, but not without faults.
No, yeah.
Okay? He's not absolved of some of the blame. But Connor McDavid also referred to this team in his year-end exit interview as emotionless at times. And I don't want to harp on it too much, but it's because, that's just not my style of coach, like a quiet, reserved coach. I react better to somebody that is not afraid of getting emotional. I like that. I feel like that coach has my back. But, you know, you see a Paul Maurice, a Bruce Cassidy, a John Cooper, Barry Trotz, Mike Sullivan.
Brendamore.
Yeah, you'd see these guys get quite animated on the bench. And it's not always lambasting the players. It can be, you know, like I was on the flag football sideline cheering with excitement for my players.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that this, you know, Connor McDavid, by saying that there was times that they were emotionless, is Connor McDavid possibly asking for a coach that'll bring a little bit more of an edge to the bench, a little bit more emotion?
That's a good question, man. I don't think so. Connor doesn't. There's times when he shows emotion, but he's quite a reserved guy, I think, right? Like there's times when he does something very special on the ice, and maybe he doesn't want all the focus on it. Maybe that's him being a leader. That's what I kind of look at it as. At times he seems like he gets more excited if someone else does something special, and then you see a smile on his face, right? But you show me games when Connor scores and someone comes into the huddle there and says something, and you see Connor kind of chuckle, like, then you know that's when I think, okay, it's fun.
Yeah,
because sometimes
you like to see that, don't you?
I love seeing that. So I don't only I would say no to that, because I think that's more of a responsibility of your leadership group on your team to make things exciting and fun and intense. And I do think Connor and Leon could do a better job of that, because a lot of the times it does look like they're paying to score.
Yes. Yeah, like no celebration. Players that score, that maybe don't score that often, are they allowed to celebrate?
Just a pump, like a pump, something.
All right, we are going to be back with our final segment of EST Afternoons. My name's Jay Milne, filling in for the one and only Hernan Salas alongside Joaquin Gage and Benny Thompson. We've got the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay coming up. How did it didn't go last night? Because you guys had Colorado -1.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did the other legs?
I know Nate just got a point, and I think it was Pistons money line, I think. So I don't know.
And they lost. They lost in overtime.
I was the only one that got mine right.
Okay. I've got a bit of an idea as to where I'm going to go.
Okay.
I will see what you guys want to come up with, but I'm not of this mind of let's try get a let's get a victory. Screw that.
Oh yeah,
let's go for the fence,
yeah.
boys. I mean, let's
swing.
get into goals. Let's get into points. Let's put something together with 4 digits.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Screw it. Let's do a parlay coming up for Play Alberta. This is EST Afternoons coming to you live from the William Huff studio. Benny, take it away.
The Edmonton Oilers have parted ways with head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart after both were relieved of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch took over during the 2023-24 season and posted an 135-77-21 record while guiding Edmonton to back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances. The organization has yet to announce replacements as the coaching search officially gets underway. The NHL playoff action continues tonight with 2 games on the schedule. The Canadiens and Sabres square off at 5 p.m. with that series tied at 2, while the Golden Knights look to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30, with Vegas leading that series 3-2. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, the Canucks have named Henrik and Daniel Sedin as co-presidents of the organization, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. The PGA Championship at Uranimank gets going today. Currently, it is still a 7-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. And then there was some MLB action that's gone down today. The Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beat up on the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat the Tigers 9-4. Twins over the Marlins 9-1. And then there's some game. And then the Brewers beat the Padres 7-1. You got the Mariners and Astros. Mariners leading 8-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cardinals up 3-1 on the Athletics. And then later today, Phillies, Red Sox, Cubs, Braves, Royals, White Sox, and Giants, Dodgers to end off the night. Final segment of EST Afternoons coming up after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey sports fans, I'm Alistair Johnston with Canada Soccer. The biggest sporting event in the world is coming to Canada this summer, and we hope that you're just as excited as we are. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I can't wait to share it with the whole country.
Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Canada Soccer.
It's the weekend. The sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going, rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on. Always. All day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons with myself, Jay Milne, and Joaquin Gage. Benny Thompson is also joining us. A reminder to not go anywhere. Your dreams have come true, nasties. You get Reed Wilkins all to yourselves today. No Jay Milne to step in, to speak over him, to interrupt him. It's all Reed from 3 to 6, delivering smooth hits. One after the other.
That silky voice.
That silky voice. He may drop in some other voices too. He's been known to do that from time to time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. If you haven't yet, we are at 93 thumbs. We need 7 thumbs to get over the 100 thumb threshold. Let's get there. You may be asking, why? Why do you want my thumb? It helps spread the good word of EST and puts us into other people's eyes and ears that may not have found out about us yet. And if you haven't yet, I think Dusty said, or YouTube Trev said, that like 40% of the people that are regular listeners to EST, 40% of them are subscribed. Yeah. The other group are not.
Are not, yeah.
Subscriptions also help EST. So if you're a fan of EST, hammer that subscribe button. We are almost at 15,000.
14.9. It was at 14.8 yesterday. So
we're getting that. We're getting there. Of course, Kris Knoblauch was relieved of his duties today. Stan Bowman spoke this morning in a Zoom conference, and he was asked on the timeline of hiring the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers.
I don't have a timeline on it. I mean, my simple answer would be we're going to go through a process like I just spoke about. But, we're not looking to drag this out, but it'll take as long as it takes. And I don't know that yet. We're not going to rush into anything in the next couple of days here, but I think we are going to let that play out. So, we're not going to stretch it out any longer than it needs to be. Whether that's a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know that. We'll get to that when it plays out.
We'll get to that when Bruce Cassidy's ready to speak. Okay, but we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Before we get to the screw it, let's do a parlay quickly, Gage. Toronto has a vacancy. LA has a vacancy. Edmonton has a vacancy. If you're Bruce Cassidy, what team would you like to take on?
I think it's in between Toronto and Edmonton. He's already said he wants to coach a Canadian franchise. The thing that you have to worry about is he's from Ottawa. So Toronto, obviously closer to home. That might appeal to him. Growing up in that area, Toronto Maple Leafs, they're kind of the big dogs, right? But
they are. They're Canada.
Yeah. And again, I talk about
we live in the shadows of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Joaquin.
Well, the hubris of thinking you're going to be.
You heard? Okay, Benny, do you have the Screw It, Let's Do It music?
No, we don't.
Like, what happened here?
I don't know.
How did this happen?
Coob didn't leave me the clip, so we've been singing it recently. And then it got removed from that board as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be on this board.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to whistle it?
Screw it.
Let's do it. Don't delay. Let's take a risk today. No sense in being safe. We need a huge payday.
The dogs go crazy in your house.
I remember the words.
Yeah, very
go.
good,
Come on.
Gage. Okay, it is time for the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. We talked. We ain't screwing around today, sonny boy. I'm going to kick it off. I don't know what the order is. I'm just going to go with it.
Go.
Leo Carlson goal. Plus 183. Benny boy, what do you got?
This guy struggled in the playoffs here.
Not a
for
good
little
start.
bit. But but.
Oh, you're going Cole Caulfield, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Are you?
I like that.
Cole Caulfield anytime.
Jeez,
goal.
I was going to go Cole
Oh,
Caulfield.
jeez.
We could go Cole Caulfield over two or more goals.
I was going to say 1.5.
Screw it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Screw
Like,
it.
if that's
Okay.
what you feel, if you guys were both on the same page, I don't care. This is going to be an enormous number.
Yeah.
So we're going for it. It's going to happen. I'm going to send it in. Screw it. Let's do it is going to be a goals banger. Leo Carlson goal and Cole Caulfield 2 or more goals. Can you imagine this? If this hits, I personally guarantee it will be in the running, but probably lose out for the bet of the year.
Yeah.
At the Estes, because I can't win Estes. I'm allergic to them. And thank you, yes, Jay Phillips in the nasty chat. Over 100 likes. We appreciate you as well. I'm going to send it in right now and see if I can get this before the end of the show. So we said, okay, so this is Screw It, Let's Do It. Boosted. Leo Carlson, 2 S's. Goal. And Cole Caulfield.
1.5 over 1.5
Over
goals.
1.5 goals. Ooh, baby. This is going to be ginormous. Joaquin, we don't get to work together all that often, but I always appreciate when we do. And once again, I appreciate and thank you for your taco that you made me earlier. It was the finest taco I've ever eaten in my life. So
Wow.
to you. Now, here's one thing we could discuss. And maybe we'd have to put up a poll or something one day, but because they have the new studios ready over there, the new podcast studio. What do you think about a Jay and Walk eat?
Sure.
Like where it wouldn't have to be a hour-long podcast.
No.
Like give me something 20 minutes. We do it once a week or twice a week, and it's just, hey, what'd you cook? Tell me about it.
Okay.
Because we both cook enough that we would have some good stories, and we'd probably get some feedback. We could share recipes, share pictures. Because truthfully, I'll tell you this inside. I'm not on Reed's show today because Wannick's at jury duty. Hernan's away, so Reed's going to be flying solo. But I'm out of here as fast as this show's over because I have an opportunity to get home.
That's great.
To be there for my girls when they get off the bus, which I haven't had since we've started this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm super excited for that. And Gator, guess what I'm making for supper tonight?
Tacos?
I wish.
Burgers.
No, I'm making breakfast for supper.
Oh, good one.
Waffles, bacon, eggs, the whole
Waffles.
shebangle. Yeah, I love making waffles.
Okay,
I got a
good.
great recipe.
I bet.
Got a nice little waffle iron, so we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
Okay, it is time to get out. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for hammering the thumbs up. Let's see where we finished up at here. Oh, wow, we got to 110. We're just going to call it a show record. We're just going to say show record.
Show
Hernan's not here.
Well, we've never got more thumbs than this till you and I together on EST Afternoons.
Boom, magic. There, we did it. Okay, look for the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay to be coming up over at Play Alberta. It's going to be a banger. On behalf of myself, Joaquin, and Benny, thank you for tuning into EST Afternoons. Do not go anywhere. The award-winning Reed Wilkins Show without Jay Milne coming up next. Talk to you tomorrow.